Prime shall be sampling some of your views during this live newscast. Now, the Building Bridges Initiative team is finalizing its report on its mandate as the term of the task force comes to an end on June 30th. The team is drafting key reforms on constitutional, legislative, policy and administrative changes as Parliament kickstarts the process of laying groundwork for amending the Constitution through the referendum bill. ATN political reporter Jeff Kiroi with the very latest.
As the Building Bridges to Unity Advisory Task Force terms comes to an end on June 30th, the team has been burning the midnight oil to draft a report to be submitted to President Uhuru Kenyatta and ODM leader Raila Odinga.
The committee now handling the issue of BBI, they have ample opportunity to report on what they are doing within this year. And we can set before this year ends or early next year to go on a referendum to make sure that we have a new document.
Sources within the task force intimate that the quest for a referendum is inevitable, citing the gravity of proposals they have received. Proponents of BBI have been pushing for an expanded executive by creating the position of Prime Minister and 2 deputies, as well as appointing cabinet from sitting members of Parliament.
What we want in Parliament, that cabinet ministers or cabinet secretaries should be amongst the elected members of Parliament, so that they have responsibility to report back to their constituencies and their counties on what they are doing in Parliament, and at the same time they can answer questions from various members of Parliament concerning their ministries in Parliament.
And in laying ground for the changes that will likely require the involvement of Kenyans, Parliament has commenced the process of constitutional changes through the referendum bill that will provide a roadmap of amending the constitution. A bill that, among other issues, proposes the referendum to be held together with the 2022 general election.
I understand from the economists in the country that it will cost this nation about 15 billion. Money that we so desperately need now for Medicare. But now, because no one seems to care about Medicare, then a referendum, if it must come, let it come with the next general election so that you can combine this cost.
Now, we must have a referendum first because it will inform some of the decisions to be made on election day, and it will inform some of the positions available for contesting. It will also inform some of the policies that have been put in place going forward.
We can't yearn for the new constitution and say we have got to wait until 2022 when we are voting, is when we will vote, is when we will have a referendum. It will be useless. And somebody is arguing, oh, Kenya government doesn't have money. There is no government in the world which has no money.
The referendum bill by Constitutional Implementation and Oversight Committee led by Ndaragwa MP Jeremiah Kioni is at its first reading, and the clerk of the National Assembly has already given a notice for submission of memoranda regarding the bill. The proponents of BBI in Parliament have already taken a stand, saying they will amend the clause on referendum to be held together with the general election.